Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we meet again in the massive open online course. So today we are going to discuss about the next topic in this course, which is sustainable site planning and management. So today we are going to learn more about the sustainable site planning and management. What is the definition of site planning that is sustainable? A site plan that has the least environmental impact while still meeting the client's project goals. That is the definition of sustainable site planning. So to become sustainable, you need to worry about these three main things. In order to be sustainable, you need to consider these three aspects, which is social, economic, and environmental. When you achieve balance between these three main elements, you can and you will achieve sustainability. So, in regards to our topic today, which is site planning, why do we need to have a sustainable site planning? And what does it requires to become sustainable during site planning? So the criteria for selecting a new site normally include engineering, environmental, and economic aspects. Usually, some of these criteria limit the choice of potential sites to a given field. These sites are then investigated further for their suitability through site visits and analysis of existing information. During this stage, measures to protect the environment and resolve socio-economic issues are also considered. Whether the project is situated on private or individual land or near waterways and alternative uses will be affected by the project, the issue of compensation and offset investment should be addressed. So there are 9 factors to select appropriate sites to become a sustainable site planning. First is site selection and planning. Second is public transportation access. Third is community services and connectivity. Fourth is open spaces, landscaping, and hidayah effect. Fifth is construction system and site management. 6 is stormwater management. 7 is redevelopment of existing sites and brownfield redevelopment. 8 is avoiding environmentally sensitive areas, and last but not least, it is building user manual. So we go one by one. First factor to select appropriate site is the site selection and planning. Proposed development is appropriate for the site, complies with the local plan or structure plan for the area. Site selection can have a significant impact on the environmental impact of a project site. So that is why it is one of the key elements when you are considering site to become your construction project site. There are some specific parameters to consider when selecting a site, which includes: to avoid floodplains. Continued development in natural floodplain areas has contributed to increased flooding, decreased flooding, and increased soil loss. Provide buffers for bodies of water. Development around bodies of water such as streams and wetlands should be limited and include buffers of undisturbed areas of 50 to 100 or more. Do also avoid green fields. Grey fields and brown fields are often less expensive to develop, place less stress on infrastructure, and limit the environmental impact of developing previously undeveloped sites. But do avoid this. Third one is transportation. The impact that transportation of people and goods to a site that can be significant. Try to select sites that encourage the use of public and non-motorized transportation. This relates to the second factors to select appropriate site, which is public transportation access. This is a picture that will encourage site close to transport hub. If you are selecting a site, you need to have access to public transportation. You need to make sure that your project site have public transportation access. The third factors to select appropriate site is community services and connectivity. This will encourage site close to basic community amenities. For example, like school, ATM, hospital, lake, park. This not only increase the quality of life of your potential users, but also will become a site that is environmental friendly. The next factor to select appropriate site is open spaces, landscaping and heat island effect. Development should have small carbon footprints and more landscape. This is a picture which you can use as an example on how to make sure that your project site is green and sustainable, which also consider the urban island effect. The next factors to select appropriate site is construction system and site management. As an owner or a contractor, you should encourage IBS and reduce on-site construction. The sixth factor to select appropriate site is stormwater management. You need to reduce your stormwater runoff. As you can see, this is the two pictures that can show the effect when you cut down the trees. There is a paper that you can read more. I have given you the link. Please explore. Seventh factor to select appropriate site is the redevelopment of existing sites and brownfield redevelopment. You should redevelop and rehabilitate existing environmentally contaminated or used site if you can. There are many measures or approaches to use this, which it can do lots of things, and that which can benefits you in many areas. For example, like can improve aesthetics, recreational space, public health. It can also become a healthy ecosystem, low footprint or air quality, improve air quality. There are a couple of nature-based solutions to do this. There are a couple of nature-based solutions in order to redevelop brownfield or cultivated land remediation. So you can use whether revegetation, green space transformation, heritage park, nature reserves, and ground source heating if you want to redevelop the brownfield. If you are dealing with contaminated land and you want to remediate it, you can make a constructed wetland, or you can use the approach of phytoremediation or bioremediation, or just use green remediation materials. I've also provided a current paper that talks about the redevelopment of brownfield and contaminated land for you to read at your own leisure time. The eighth factor to select appropriate site is avoiding environmentally sensitive areas. ESA. So this is a picture that shows the ESA in Langkawi, which been extracted from a paper by Leman Nazrin et al. Published in 2016. That shows the level of sensitivity, the level of environmental sensitivity of the location. The orange color shows the high sea sensitivity, and the green section shows the area which is non-sensitive. If you opt to have a project site based in Langkawi, you need to refer to this type of map so that you won't have a problem at the end of the day. ESAs are landscape elements, ecosystems, areas, or places which are imperative to the long-term maintenance of biodiversity, soil, water, and other natural resources which could be threatened by development. They include, among others, forests and wildlife habitat areas, steep slopes, wetlands, mangroves, and agricultural lands. ESAs occur within all landscapes, but their significance and role in ensuring environmental integrity and maintaining the health of locality are relative to their ecological values, type of land uses, planning mechanisms, and management regimes. Please do have some background reading in this paper that I mentioned. So the last factor to select appropriate site is the building user manual. The building user manual is the most important aspect of the development process by the consultant to ensure that the building will be operated efficiently without any breakdowns due to technical problems that may arise during the occupancy period. The building user manual is like the birth certificate of the building. You should have document or proper guidelines for user information to sustain performance during occupancy.